Don't let someone take your land that's on your property. Like if it's in the family and you have access to land, keep it for as long as you can and get the highest amount of value for it if you have to sell it. If you don't hang on to it, you can't make a better investment out of it for generational wealth. You have to hang on to things. You can't just throw them in the bin every single time, because that's why people end up in jobs that don't serve them, and they end up miserable and diseased and unhealthy because they didn't get the chances that you were meant to get. Don't rush into selling things. The real estate companies, that they just want to make profit and quick sales. Hang on to the money, hang on to the land. It's a big asset. There's better ways to invest money. People will always try to rush you into spending money. And it's also a spiritual dimension to this as well. It's not just a physical. You have to pray over your things, because other people and other spirits can take hold of land. So thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for teaching me these things and increasing my spirituality growth, my spiritual growth. But don't let other people take your land that was rightfully in ownership and worked for. Don't let other people take that land from you. You keep it. We don't own anything, but there was still effort and transaction of effort put in to keep and obtain the land. And whoever the rightful owner is of that land at that time, it still has access to it. You can't just walk in and pretend it's yours. And if you're not being a beneficiary to it, if you're not adding wealth to it, there's no point in being there. There's no point. Unless if you're paying rent and it's legally bound, then yeah, you have more of a say. But if you don't have a say, like if you're renting it and you're just there, it's technically squatting. It can be removed at any time. You have to respect the property that you're on regardless. You can't just walk in and take it. That goes against every grain. Anyone that's trying to manipulate you to get money out of you, anyone, that's not from God. That isn't from God. If a blessing comes from God, it comes easily. It doesn't come free. Like, it doesn't come free, but it comes easily. It doesn't happen with force. It doesn't happen with force at all. Like, there's no trying to take over it. You have to understand that when you're on someone's land and they've worked for it and they've earned the money to get it, you have to have respect for that place. You can't just disrespect it. Me included. If you're going to build a vegetable garden there or do anything there, you want to do it properly to add value to it. Or if you're building anything on the property and it's just going to cause more headaches later on, you're devaluing the property. The same with Aboriginal spirits and all these things. I can't speak for everyone, but it makes sense to go and damage your gutter because it might have an overflow in some other area. Like, it makes sense not to do that. Anything that's not meant to be here will fall away anyway. But you don't want to hinder your own family and your own growth. You want to just let things grow the way they are. We can all help out, we can all do things, but know that if you have an intention set, pray on it. Just pray heavily over that area. And then try to sell it in a better way, or try to invest some money. You don't have to, some of these banks, who knows what's going on? You got to be a bit wiser with financial stuff. You can't just throw it in the bin. I've had experience with this when I helped my mother with selling land, and all the real estates did was use me. They said it was a family buying the property, and they said it was a family, and the way that they worded it manipulated my mother into lowering the price, and also saying, but it ended up being investors that they didn't win either way because nothing happened. The land's still vacant. But still, don't let those things happen again. You stay strong on your land. That is family property. That can go for generations. That can help many children get educations and grow further in growth. Don't listen to anyone that's trying to manipulate you out of your property. it can always work out for the better for future generations, including my little girl too. So just be wise.